start this meeting now. Nim, if you wanna speak, speak in the speaking thing, you may. Same as, 05, you may start speaking as well. But I'll wait for like a couple more minutes until they start actually joining, because I don't understand why people are not wanting to participate in a community meeting, as this is the only time we give them to do something that they want changed or anything like that.
Hi.
I think Nim is AFK right now. Plant. Alright, so Fade, I just want to ask you this before I move on to topics and stuff like that. How is this foundation doing in your eyes?
I think it's of course I think in like terms of high ranking needs to be more clarification. I think it's
Alright. I'm pretty disappointed with the rest of the community. That is something that I'm pretty disappointed in. I'm not disappointed at you. I'm disappointed that some of the community members are not deciding to be a part of this, basically. Because but yeah, that's something that I can't change, I'm guessing. So, in in precisely with everything else, how can we improve this foundation's activity? Do you have any ideas?
I think from the other groups I've started to notice, people are getting more strict with their members and like adding quotas and stuff. So I think get like harsher, I guess. If like someone hasn't been active in a few weeks or they refuse to join the apartments and they're just kind of in the server not providing, I don't think we should tolerate that.
Alright. Uh, Nim, what do you have to say about this? Because I know you're in here right now, and I know that you're not AFK. If you are AFK, then why are you in the audience? Lazy, what do you think about his idea?
Mm, it should be a good idea.
Mm-hmm. So, Faded, I've noticed some activity, some inactivity from departments and stuff like that. this is the reason why we have these community meetings to discuss stuff with the community, see what they want to change, all that good stuff. It's something that we get feedback on how we're running stuff, and it's just something that we do to get feedback around with the rest of the community. Um, so what do you think about the lore about this foundation? Um, like, how is it in your eyes?
Uh, I'm actually pretty happy I could show you the Broken Masquerade hub. I know a lot in terms of pretty much any of the canons, but with the current lore, it's kind of just confusing.
Um, so I will just drop the confusion for you, so you don't have to be confused. Basically, how my foundation runs in I have to explain this, and don't worry, I've explained this to many people. It just gets sometimes to get used to because a lot of foundations run off of the administrator and the vice administrator off of that base right there. You know what I mean? So we try to we're trying to stay away from that base because we've noticed in the past that a lot of people tend on to not go for those kind of foundation because it's just pretty basic. So the founder and the co-founders are basically the founder is the administrator in so many ways, but not he's the founder of the foundation basically, the first person that founded the foundation and built the foundation from ground up. The co-founders are kind of like the O5, but not entirely. They're more of they're more of to the O5 council that deals with threats with the O5. Like for example, let's just say O5-1 is being threatened by Alpha One. They do with internal threats, basically, kind of like that with the O5 Council. Like basically, we're
Mhm.
kind of like peacekeepers in a case. So that's kind of the lore of the founder and the co-founders, just in a nutshell. So it's not like confusing for you, because I don't want it to be confusing, but it's sometimes yes, it can be confusing when you first join and stuff like that. So, I would really appreciate it if EC would come in and join. Hold on. Become speaker. I did not want to do that. Redacted joined. It's so good to have another member join. So, Redacted, do you have any concerns with the foundation and how it's basically? So you don't have any questions or anything that needs to be answered by me or the staff members, basically. All right then. So how has the lore been going on with you? Like, any concerns, any questions about the lore of the around the new site and stuff like that? Are you? I'm talking about Arc 232, not site trivia. I'm talking about the new site that we're building fully. Yes, I mean reactor response force. Yes. Nem, do you have any questions that need to be answered? Okay. Um, so redacted. What do you what do you want in the found like? What is your idea of around the lore of Arc 232? What do you think of Arc 232 being the main site of our games? So let's just say, for example, something does happen, and let's say the project gets cut because of certain issues. Um, what would what would you what would be your reaction in that case? Well, I'm not canceling the project just yet, but the site that I've been having so much difficulty on because, well, it's just we don't have many developers helping out at the same time, and most of them are either different time zones or just don't want to do all of the work all together. And it's a problem because our developer teams don't really work together as much. And some of them are GMT. I'm PST, so it's a bit different for me. So I'm thinking of about having like I haven't fully decided on it, but it's just I need ideas on how we can have this solved.
Devs, do they all have different rules, or are they just scattered?
So basically, I'm more of the terrain builder and just the building of around areas, blueprints, that good stuff. Um, we don't have a scripter, so most likely I'm looking for a permanent scripter right now. But other than that, it has to be an advanced scripter, or we can't have them basically if it's not an advanced scripter. But we have one builder. Well, we have two, but the other one got fired due to inactivity, and plus he was not doing his job correctly and using assets that wasn't his and claiming it was his. So with that including, he got fired for that one. So we have only one builder remaining.
Oh,
whoever just said your dot life. Okay, I'm gonna remove that. I do not know what that is, but whatever. Ideas on certain stuff. So me and Nim have been looking for some scripters, but like most of the scripters are going to be way out of our price range. Not even that much that we even make from the temp game that we have out for the group. So we're most likely going to be looking for some investors that are willing to help us, but it's been a little bit difficult trying to find those kind of people that is willing to help us out. Redacted, that I appreciate the offer, but no, that would not help because again, like I said, 13 Robux is not very. That's like a cent. That's like
In
in cent
Robux
worth,
is barely anything. We need like thousands upon thousands of Robux.
like around 20 to 30k worth of Robux, which is around like fucking $178 or even more, depending on.
Yeah, I was about to get scammed of that much.
Yeah, which I don't really want anybody getting scammed.
Yes, yes, we know.
Donator perks.
See, the donation perks have been in place, but the problem is that, well, first of all, we have to roll them personally and verify them as they've been donated, basically. So, let's say if a user donates, right, we have to verify through cells, and that sometimes cannot be reliable in some cases. Because they could have just donated like 10 Robux and said they donated like 1k to the group, and we have to verify those funds coming in. Or they could lie about their username and say they were this user, basically. If you kind of get the point of seeing that right there. Like, there's many factors that we have to go through and make sure of that and stuff like that as well. But, but with the rest of the stuff that we're dealing with the stress and stuff like that, most likely development is going to be delayed for a little bit longer due to me overworking and stuff like that and doing other stuff for other communities and stuff like that. Because this is not the only community that I run. I am a moderator for Bytes Industry, which is a partner for with my foundation. I'm also the CEO of Spireworks and fucking Phantom Hosting, which two business models that I run basically. So with that, I'm kind of a bit overworked in my own opinion. So basically, with that, development may be a little bit halted for that bit of a portion until I figure out what needs to be done. But with the development of the fences and stuff like that, I've known that I've gotten some people asking me to make it realistically of the fences and stuff like that, make them like fences, not brick fences. So we're gonna try to look at some models and seeing if we can actually do that, make it a little bit modern. But everything is subject to change to do that. So and I see Grim has officially made it to the meeting. So, Grim, do you have anything to put into the site or whatever. Basically, do you have any things that you want to announce or anything like that? I'm gonna just hold on.
I kind of just joined to listen in. I don't really have anything to announce.
So, how do you like the lore around the Foundation? Is it confusing to you, or
What's up?
like some people are saying that the lore around the Foundation and the co-founders is a little bit confusing? Is it confusing to you?
For me, not really. But I guess I could see how it could be for some other people, I suppose. But for me, myself, it's not too confusing.
So, how about the activity? How can we? Do you have any ideas of how we can change the activity a little bit?
We could try to do a little bit more like mandatory ops, maybe. So like mandatory operations or something like that. So then people kind of can have to like show up, and so we can actually do
So,
like
like
a legitimate
mandatory
operation.
SSUs and stuff like that.
Yeah, like so. Let's say we like do an event like maybe on the game I'm on or on site where like let's say something breached, and then make it like a mandatory operation for them to respond to.
All right.
And if they need like incentive or something, then we could say that we'll think about promotions afterwards. But that one is up to you guys, more or less, if y'all want to do that part. So if
Okay,
they need
well, Grim, are you talking about Founders Guard, or are you talking about...
mostly for combative units, just in general.
Okay, I'm talking about the entire community. I'm not talking about only combatives.
Oh.
I'm talking about an idea to bring up activity, because I've been noticing this group has not been getting much activity around the community.
Then for the whole foundation, then yeah, probably like mandatory SSUs and stuff like that.
Alright. So, around the new site, what do you think needs to be changed?
For me, I don't really think there's much that need to be changed, actually.
So, you wouldn't, you don't, so there's nothing that you would like changed on the outside, or there's not something that you want to change for uniform wise, or like gear wise, whatever.
For uniforms and gear, we could probably get like so you know how like ISD in some games have like the neck goiters, like the like half masks kind of that they have over their face. We might be able to try to get those for us, and like maybe like earpieces or something for like them in IA, just to cover their face up just a little bit more.
So more of like a realistic gator mask.
Yeah.
Alright, I think I could probably talk to Shadow and see if he can probably do that. But, like, as I feel that the game is going to be a little bit delayed, and I'm just going to say this to everyone, I'm sorry if the game is delayed. I am really trying my best to release it as fast as possible, but with that, I can't just work all night straight up for like 15 days straight. That's like a death wish for me.
Yeah.
Like, that's overworking myself entirely. And with that, I need sleep. So if I don't get sleep, then I'm pretty pretty agitated in the days coming up to that, basically. Um, for other news, the people that have been saying, or well, the people that don't believe that I'm disabled or autistic, or believe otherwise, I've been hearing some people didn't believe me on that one. So, Grim, can you verify that I am? Can you verify that I have dyslexia and a lot of other shit?
That for what I've seen, and like, yeah, I can verify for the most part. Yeah, that I can verify myself.
Mr. Pro Guy here just joined. Okay, that's good. Everybody's joining at the last
Second.
bit. Yeah, last second thing. So, with that, I deal with a lot of shit in my personal life, and that is something that I can't really, explain to you guys, but there's some stuff that I don't feel comfortable talking about. There's some stuff that I feel comfortable talking about in public, but let's move on for the people that you know didn't believe me on that one. They now have two people, well, one person verifying it for me. Um, okay, so the rules that are going to be enforced by ethics committee soon. If EC wants to step in here and if he wants to verify the new rules, he can. Mr. Pro Guy, by the way, the game is going to be a bit delayed because of I've been not getting as much sleep than I need to be. And I love it how spam bots just spam my stream. On both channels, too. We will. So, with the development wise, I am still looking for a scripter. If you guys have anybody suggested, they cannot be over the minimum. They cannot be asking, like, for payment if they don't do anything. I will just state this right now. My terms are pretty simple. If you find a scripter and they're asking you to do if I have to be in their Discord server, I am most likely not going to pay them or anything like that because that feels to my needs that they're a scam or a scammer. Any scripter that asks for upfront payment, in my eyes, I'm not hiring them.
I have a junior scripter that I hired to fix a couple problems on my former GOC site, so I can recommend him to you.
Alright.
And he doesn't want like 3K for like a few lines of code or some stupid shit, so.
Yeah, that's on my end because that's annoying because I cannot. The last scripter that I've asked to do a certain something asked me for like 16K to fix my DMR reactor, and yet I'm not paying 16K just for a few fixed bugs. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
I'll give him a talk and see if he wants to come work for you.
With how, like, what did he fix on your GOC's base?
I know he very easily just fixed because the doors they didn't work with like we were playing on mobile and you press like you
so
can't press
basically
E on the door.
He converted the doors into mobile and
he
stuff.
made it to where the key cards actually could touch and fix it. That's what he did. he did some stuff with the uniforms so they weren't ass, and then I think I told him how to go into the game settings and all that, and
The
he
new
started. Yeah,
director for your GOC group, by the way, I've asked her if is it a her or he?
I said, dude,
Okay. I asked he about the uniforms. They haven't gave me anything yet. I guess he is doing redoing them. I'm guessing. I'm not 100% sure if you want to.
they probably will, but I have the files for all of them, so if you want any,
I
I can get them.
I can show you what we've been working on your GOC uniforms if you still want them to be ours wise, so it's not of a more security based issue. Because I'm
Uh,
still kind of waiting for Polar Star to be up because I bought the North what's it called? It's something with MSI and Polar Star and something like that. If I can actually Northern Security. Yeah, they have an anti cheat that basically detects from the user of exploits or stuff like that. Basically, it detects stuff. So if people decide to exploit on the game, we have anti cheat that will basically ban them for us, so we
if
don't have to
you
do anything.
you want permission to like have GOC.
Um, you cut out there, faded. By the way,
Do you want permission to like have the GOC uniforms
no, I'm
or the
asking.
morphing them?
Does he want us to use our uniforms, or does he want to use his? Is what I'm talking about.
What are your guys actually?
Here I cannot show you, but I can give a picture and sneak peek for you.
Okay.
They just need to be scripted. But they look very nice and they're pretty detailed in some ways, so if it would. Yes, I know. If the uniforms would not take their time to load, basically. It's taken its time to load, basically, so just give it a couple seconds unless someone fucked up the map or something like that. There we go. Um, Here, I'm just gonna tag you in basically main chat so you can just see them and see what they look like to you.
Okay.
But yeah, they look nice, don't they?
Yeah. If you
So
want to temporarily use those or hours or whatever.
it's up to you if you guys want to use those as for them, because I made them a long time ago for my GOC game and I just never gotten to use them basically. So, and that was all in the UN kind of thing because I took a break from SCPF to just do a United Nations thing. But other than that, lazy lazy. Please don't like put random videos in here. Main chat. Um, Mr. Pro Guy, do you have any questions about the new game being developed? Alright, Graham, what about you?
Yeah, what's up?
Do you have any questions?
Mm-mm.
Alright.
All clear here.
Is EC still in here, or is he just inactive right now? Because he kind of needs to. Kind of needs to be in this VC right now. Alright, well, I'm just going to state the new rules. If EC doesn't agree, he can just DM me the answer. So, these new rules are going to be in place for the new site just because of, well, there's going to be a lot of people asking to be developers, and basically I don't want our staff team hiring a bunch of randoms just to steal our game, if you kind of get my point of view. Also, there's going to be several stuff that the people are going to be working on as your guys' respective departments as well. Sure, let's, go ahead, Redacted. Technically, in this case, we do have admins, but they're just inactive because there's not very much activity going around in the community. But, yes, I am sure, because, there's a staff application that you have to be hired for. Here, if you want the staff application... Oh, yeah, I forgot you're audio moderator. I will review your thing for your admin later on, okay? I will review that one right there and then, okay? Okay. Because that is I shut it down because of one reason. Inactivity, and no one was on there that was active. Only Cat was the only one on there, and I don't really want him to lead my GOC because of I don't know him in a good way, and with that we don't really need that kind of issue with people leading stuff that is not needed, basically. I am working on an enemy GOI. Yes, I am. I just need time to deal with them because right now there's terms that will have to be stated. And these terms, I'm working with the ethics committee to get approved. Yes, they will have a challenge. Splat, go ahead. What's your question? Okay, again, Splat. I have to do I will do interviews after the community meeting. So don't worry about it. Okay? I've stated this with a lot of other people. I will do interviews after the community meeting. EC, are you still in here or are you just AFK? Alright, I'm guessing EC is still not in here. So I'll just state the rules. Okay, good. Okay. So, Ethics Committee. The new rules that are going to be in place, it's going to be mainly for the staff team as well, mainly for in-game purposes. If you do not agree with them, you can just, tell me why you don't agree and I will revise the situation, okay? If you're trying to speak, your mic is not working.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Can you please repeat the thing?
Basically, these are going to be new rules for in-game and out-game.
You cut out.
There's going to be new rules for in-game and out-game.
Okay. Hold up, I hear a radio, and usually that means the staff member's incoming, but I'll try to explain mostly in-game rules. Essentially, Code of Ethics will still apply, but here's the thing. If a staff is on duty, and you happen to find them doing an admin sit with someone,
it's new rules. New rules. These are new rules, not the old rules.
Okay, so essentially, if you're an admin sit, RK other people for no reason, all that shit. If you discover an admin sit, just walk away, don't even bother.
Okay, I'm just going to add to that as well with the admin sit. I am working on a thing with one of my good friends. Me and him are working on a UI, so if there's an admin sit and if you go into that area and they type in a command, basically you will be killed, but it's only to protect the admin sit because we've recently had a lot of people trolling our admins, in which this case I do not need more complaints about admin sits and people going to kill them during an admin sit. Because apparently the last yes, and the last admin sit we had, a user killed an admin wearing the straight up vest that we made for them, and it's very visible because you have the title on the back and front. It's very visible. You cannot miss it. So I don't understand why.
It's in bright colors, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. So why is this community going after our admins? So this is a security measure. So if you basically go into this admin sit and because it will give you a warning to leave, and if you don't leave, it's gonna automatically kill you. Just a heads up.
Mm-hmm.
Because
essentially, don't fuck with an admin set unless you want to get banned. Obviously, no exploiting, no cheats, admin abuse.
Also, to add with the exploiting thing, the people that get falsely banned will be unbanned for the exploit during that time with the anti-cheat that we had with what was it called? Crystal anti-cheat, Nim?
I think so.
Yes, so the people that got banned for that reason, we found out that basically their system flags everything all at once, basically. So if you do something random, it flags you and then basically bans you. We'll unban everybody for that one. Other than that, the new rules will be stated in-game. So, these are the rules for roleplay because there will be an outside town related to the SCP lore of that game. Okay, these are the new rules and I will state them only this once. First of all, if you're going to roleplay on the outside town, meaning if you're going to go to town, you must not interfere with local or police departments, basically any local department. Fire, EMS, police, you may not interfere. You can roleplay as a police officer or anything like that, but you may not be in a department of a local government branch, meaning police, fire, EMS, since you're already in an SCP, unless you're MTF at a 10, the damn feds. That is a thing that will allow. That is the only thing that you can be a part of that group. As in that game. That's the only thing. So that's the first rule that's going to be added to the game. Second one is that basically if you are caught exploiting, that is a no appealable. And with that, I will make sure that I will verify it, because verification will also require us to verify the bot. We will know if you exploit, because MSI and Northern Security do a lot of work together, and that's a big developer community. Bigger than Crystal Anti-Cheat. So with that, I've trusted them with my security of my group. That will be the second rule that will be added. Thirdly, staff will be able to go on and off site of the game without being asked for ID. If they are in their staff car and they're wearing their staff vest, they are allowed to do whatever they want. They just cannot interact or RP. That is something that I will state that right now. That is something I'll state.
If we're going to add a nuke to this game, I'm going to state this. If you somehow learn the code, not nuke abuse. Otherwise, I will have the dev team change that code in a heartbeat.
Not only that, I will personally make sure it's group locked. Because it'll be group locked. So only a certain rank will be able to operate it anyways. To add with that, there will be nuclear fallout shelters in the town for the nuke to basically pass over. If it does happen, and if you're in the town, you may go into those nuclear shelters as a Foundation personnel, but you may not tell them you're a Foundation agent. Because then they're gonna
you'll be restricted to the Foundation. You will be restricted to the site.
Yes. There are certain rules that will be in place in the lore as because of the masquerade effect, or basically the lore around Arc 232 where the Foundation is publicized, but not all of his employees are published, basically. They don't know the employees. There will be businesses for the Foundation to basically use as upfront space, operations, outposts, that kind of stuff. So, with that, if you guys see a staff vehicle and you need to report something, we're going to give a report command to ask for help or report an issue. That is another thing that was added to the list of the development team. So with that is something that's going to be coming up next with the terrain after the terrain is done being built. With the new rules in place, I hope that you guys understand these will change. These are not permanent, meaning, they will change if need be. These are in-game rules. Okay, now for the outside Discord rules. These are related to Discord and the group. So,
no toxicity. No drama.
Nim, these are new rules, not current ones that we're saying.
Regardless, they are still
I know.
Rules we should have.
I know. Continue with the old rules, but these are new rules that are going to be added. So, first one is with, because of the incident yesterday, when I was doing a dev stream and I happened to see Reaper and Beastie arguing over something stupid. I will state this right now, keep the argument to your guys' VC or DM. Do not put it in the Discord chat. That is something that gets annoying on my end and my staff team. That is something will annoy the living crap out of everybody. Correcting me or correcting anybody of their grammar, yes, if they don't change it, then you can ask them nicely to maybe relook their grammar. But don't just straight up tell them to change it. Because if you're Class D and that's an 05, and which really in this case, Reaper's an 05, and a high-ranking Foundation staff member, basically, that's not tolerated, and plus, with that, you do not at me and my co-founders. Don't at us, because that is something that we will react to in a not nicer way. Because, I get millions and millions of pings a day, and that just gets annoying. If you need a staff member to deal with it, don't go straight to us, just at an HR staff or a staff member. They will handle the situation for us. If it needs to go up there, you can ask them to report it to the founder, then they go into our DMs to basically deal with it. If you really, really need me... excuse me. If you really need my assistance, and if it's really urgent, meaning if it's an emergency that's needed, my DMs are open, but they are not to be used as regular staff reports, because I will just utterly ignore you after that. That is something that I get very annoyed with pretty quickly, and that is something why I don't keep my DMs open for that long. Alright, see you, Redacted. So, with that, you guys need to understand, follow the chain of command. That is something that we all need to follow. Even I do. I will personally accept DMs from people that I have contact with, like co-founders, wise, if need be. They are allowed to DM me of your complaint if you have it, basically.
Can you not?
Other than that, staff-wise, me and EC will continue the interviews with the staff thing today after this community meeting, like I've stated before with Splat. If you guys want to apply for staff, I will send out another notice for an application. You guys may. But instantly, you will be ranked as a trial moderator or just a moderator if we feel like you are a good fit.
Also, if you're waiting to be interviewed and you haven't been interviewed in a while, just to let you know, we do have in real life things we need to deal with. We cannot just sit around and do staff interviews 24/7. And on top of that, if you keep pestering about us to interview you, your interview will just go out the window and you will not become staff and you have to reapply.
Well, 2 people have been waiting almost a year now. So with
Yeah,
that, they've been pretty...
I will grant them their interview.
I was just going to say they were being patient.
Yes, they are being patient.
I
will
was
grant
just
them their
saying
interview.
that, and you just
I'm talking
yell
about
at me.
new people. I am talking about new
I
people.
know the new people. I'm just saying the people that have been, like, waiting a year, they've been really patient. And that's something that I've never seen before. In anybody.
Right.
Because we both, me and you know, we get flooded with DMs about half a dozen times. And we just both are like, okay, you know what? I'm not hiring you. If you can't be patient enough, then we're not hiring you. It's pretty simple. But other than that, this came in by a suggestion by one of our 05s. Nim, should 05 get their administration power back? Should 05 roles have admin?
Actually, I'll think on that.
I said I would think on it too, because personally, me and you know how the last time that went. And I really do not want this foundation getting raided by our 05 commands, so with that including, we'll think about that one.
Mhm.
But other than that, um, the people that are watching the Twitch stream, do you have any ideas, any concern, or anything that you want to say to me, or ask the co-founders or whatever that's in this VC? Can ask us now. If you are new to the community or something like that, you can basically ask us any questions and we'll answer them in the Twitch stream or YouTube stream. It's up to you. But please do not post anything inappropriate. That's all I ask. Other than that, Faded, do you have any questions?
Just one final thing. I do want to, like, the main security department group. I want to purge that. Just like start from the top with SD to make sure I have fully committed and active members.
So
Yeah.
you want to purge the SD ranks, basically.
Kind of, yeah. Because I see a few people in the like main SD group right now, and I
They're
don't think
inactive.
yeah.
Then
So
if
just
okay,
purge it.
as an overseer, I think you didn't get the memo. As an overseer, you have full rights to that group, but not like full rights to own the logo and the group, because the group is under my command because of what, not under my command, it's just basically I own the group,
Well,
but you have the
Yeah.
owner of the management of the Discord and stuff like that. So you can do
I've
whatever
been
you want. If you feel like they're inactive, you can discharge them as you please. That is one of the things that we allow our overseers to do. You can do that as anytime you want. You don't have to come to me asking that or anybody else. That is your department to run. It's just a group wise, like, the
The
logo.
overseer, other than the administrator and the founder, the overseer has a say in what they want to do with their department.
Yes. It's
okay.
just
I've
if
just been in a lot of
yeah.
foundations. Sorry.
Yeah, I get it. We're something different because we allow our overseers a little bit of freedom to do what they need to do. If they feel like that they can probably do much more better than, what the group is dealing with, they can do it. You know what I mean? We don't
Yeah.
restrict our overseers on certain powers and certain stuff they can do, but they must always follow the code of ethics. And just to make sure you know that, our code of ethics are in our info page where you can find the code of ethics in there. But we do not restrict our overseers to do too limited their power, basically. The limited power with that one, with staff-wise, was just because we've had people do stuff in the past that basically broke our code of ethics, and that was why the 05 basically got their ranks taken away.
Does anybody like? There's a medical department, right?
Yes, but the overseer of that department basically took the group, deleted it, and never gave it back to me, basically.
Uh-huh.
That's not nice.
Basically, he deleted the group and deleted the logo with that including, so I can't really, retrieve that department back.
If you need me to make the group for you, I can do that and just transfer it to your account.
It's fine, dude. It's up to you. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I still have to find an overseer to run it, basically, if I have a chance to even get a department overseer for that one. Because not many people are 05 because of securities and stuff like that. Also, Grim,
Yeah.
your mic, dude, you were shooting something and the audio came in, basically.
My bad.
With the other stuff, with the site becoming something that is going to be soon released, with the new with the DMR, fixing stuff as well. Um, what do you guys think of having the site for factions wise?
Hmm.
Meaning giving
I
the sites
mean,
to the factions.
I mean,
Like, I mean, they wouldn't have they would have the door scripting, but they would have to remove certain scripts because we cannot resell the scripts unless I get permission from sewers and other dev communities to give out those things and basically have the. But the problem is, I would have to have the owner role of the group, in which I don't want that to be an issue. That is my main issue because some of the scripts that we have on site are not technically mine to just give out, if you kind of get that point. Like, if you kind of get that point, in, you know what I mean? Splat, if you want to talk, you can talk and just request an invite to speak.
you better not ramble on, otherwise I kick you back to the audience.
He says, nah, it's fine. Okay. Um, Splat said he didn't like the idea, so that's my question is, we're gonna have to discuss some of the stuff because, well, first of all, with the new site, what game passes should we add? What game passes should we add?
Look at like I think like a Riot Shield Game Pass would be cool, or like CD or something, or like what was the name? There was this
Well,
old site.
there is a Riot thing that basically you can buy, and it's like a Riot thing basically. So
Okay,
there's already that added, but
there's
it's not like a Game Pass. It's just like a one-time thing basically.
let me see because there was an old foundation, but the owner's account like got banned and then the group was shut down. But
Was
it had
it
a
was
lot
it
of good game passes.
was it Site 002 from from Frameworks or not Frameworks? What was this called? It was some foundation that had like a special nuke system, and basically the guy got banned because he had a name of another Roblox group or some shit. Was that the site that you're talking about, or the group that got basically banned?
I'm not even sure. No. Yeah, so it was Saito too.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
I
So
really like.
I really love that game. That brings so much back memories. I wish they didn't
I
ban
loved
him.
it. I bought
I
like three
loved it.
packs.
They had the nicest site, and with that, it looks similar to Creepy Sins, but they modified it to the point that it wasn't like
It
fully
was its
Creepy
own thing
Sins.
and it looked better,
Yeah,
honestly.
and with that
I
dude,
think
it was just gorgeous. Like the system was gorgeous. That's all I have to say.
probably take like a few of their ideas, I guess. Like the Class T Leader Pass, I loved, where it gave it was like a permanent item, but
Yeah, it
it
would
would
give you
give like
like a golden gun and stuff like that.
and like I like give them a med kit and then
Yeah.
the right
And
shield
then like for the
and
site
supplement,
director thing, you basically got a golden gun, an office, and some other nice goodies.
and then the Glock 17, and then the machete,
Mhm.
administrative, and then an M60, and then there were like a 999 and a 173 pet, I think.
Yeah.
Just like simple stuff, but it would be cool. And I think the Class 2 leader thing would be fun. for whoever bought it, and it would give the combatives a lot more to do whenever we don't have employees on.
Yeah. There's just some stuff that we're gonna have to enforce on the Class D leaders because, well, first of all, they get like a special key card that basically opened up all of the doors, like it was an Omni class key card.
You could just give them a different card.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking because I don't want to give them an Omni class key card because then they would have access to the nuke. And I don't think anybody would want that.
Maybe like
Give them a level 3 card.
that, or just like maybe like a
Level-
forged one.
Why not just give them a separate card that gets them out of the site but doesn't activate the nuclear warhead?
That's what I was gonna say, like a forged card. Like, have you ever played a Secret Laboratory?
Yeah.
You
Yes,
know
I
how
have.
the Chaos Insurgency's cards are like made, like they make them or whatever.
Yeah,
and
like
it's all,
they basically,
like,
they're
circuit board.
hacked cards. They're hacked cards.
Yeah, like that.
We could give
I
them
think that's
something
cool.
related to that, and I saw that my fiance joined for like a second and then left. Yes, my fiance is in this VC. Or not in the VC, but she was in the VC and then left, so. But other than that, I say this was pretty good feedback for the rest of the community. What do you say, Nim? Was it good feedback? Grim, what do you think, feedback-wise?
It's good, in my opinion. It would have been a little bit better if we had a little bit more people, but can't really help that one. Unless we yelled at people to get on, but then again, people got stuff they got to do.
So, Nin, by the way, 05-4 basically talked about like mandatory SSUs.
Doing that, people are not going to freaking join in.
I mean,
Well,
like,
if we
I
do
think-
mandatory SSUs and if they're not active, we can just kick them.
Yeah, that's the one way we can lose members fast, though.
Well, then what do you think we should do in a compromise then?
yeah, but I mean, they're useless and active. So what's the point in having members if they're not gonna contribute to the group?
I'm just gonna basically end it here so I can get some interviews done. For the staff members that've been waiting. But 05-4, your idea is like in some way for the mandatory SSUs, it's good. But there's several factors that EC is probably thinking, and with that could lead to losing members more fast.
Understandable.
So there's several factors, but the idea was a good suggestion. And I will probably see on what he thinks about having it being a compromise if activity continues to be inactive.
That works for me.
But other than that, I guess this community meeting can be ended and we can return to normal duties. Probably gonna host an SSU later. Probably haven't fully decided yet. But Nim and I will do the interviews with staff members. So Splat, if you don't mind, head over to my office and we will get your interview settled down. Then just move into a regular VC and I'll move you. Other than that, you guys are dismissed. Have a great day, and we will have another community meeting planned out when we can. I will now end this community meeting.